Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Relationships have always been a topic of deep fascination, and we often find ourselves wondering what truly makes a bond unbreakable. Today, I want to explore a question that has intrigued many. Why do men never let go of women who have a certain quality? Before we dive in, it's essential to clarify that love and relationships are complex, involving countless factors. However, there is one quality that stands out, a quality so profound that it becomes nearly impossible for men to let go. That quality is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, manage, and communicate emotions effectively, is a game changer in relationships. It fosters genuine connections, deep trust, and a sense of safety that men find irreplaceable. Let's unpack why this quality holds such power. One of the most powerful aspects of emotional intelligence is the ability to understand others without casting judgment. For men, this quality in a partner is especially impactful because society often places immense pressure on them to suppress their emotions and maintain a facade of unwavering strength. Many men grow up learning to hide their vulnerabilities, fears, and insecurities. As a result, they rarely find spaces where they can openly share their struggles without the fear of being judged or perceived as weak. When a woman possesses the ability to listen attentively and empathetically without rushing to criticize or offer unsolicited solutions, she creates a safe haven for her partner. This kind of understanding goes beyond merely hearing words. It involves picking up on the emotions behind them, recognizing unspoken fears, and validating feelings without minimizing them. For example, if a man confides in his partner about his worries regarding his career or self-worth, a woman with high emotional intelligence would respond with compassion and curiosity rather than impatience or dismissal. She might say, "I can see how much this is weighing on you. Do you want to talk more about what's making you feel this way?" Such responses make a man feel seen and accepted for who he truly is. Moreover, understanding without judgment also means resisting the urge to fix things immediately. While practical solutions have their place, sometimes what a person needs most is someone to sit with them in their discomfort, acknowledge their pain, and affirm that it's okay to feel what they're feeling. This ability to tolerate emotional discomfort and simply be present is a rare and invaluable trait. For men who are often conditioned to bottle up their emotions, this kind of non-judgmental support can feel like a breath of fresh air, liberating and deeply comforting. Over time, this understanding fosters profound trust. When a man knows he can share his innermost thoughts without being ridiculed or dismissed, he begins to open up more freely. He doesn't have to wear a mask or constantly guard his emotions. This authenticity leads to a deeper emotional connection, making the bond feel almost irreplaceable. The fear of losing someone who sees and accepts them so completely becomes a powerful reason why men struggle to let go of women who possess this quality. In essence, understanding without judgment is about creating a space where vulnerability is not only allowed but encouraged. It is about showing a partner that their true self, strengths, flaws, and all is worthy of love and acceptance. This kind of unconditional support is unforgettable, making it one of the most compelling reasons why men hold on tightly to women who have this rare quality. Emotional stability and maturity are among the most attractive qualities a woman can possess in a relationship. For men who often face societal expectations to remain stoic and composed, a partner who embodies these traits becomes a vital anchor, a source of calm in an otherwise chaotic world. Emotional stability is the ability to maintain balance and composure, especially during stressful situations, while emotional maturity reflects a deep understanding of one's emotions and the ability to handle them responsibly. One of the most significant ways emotional stability manifests is through consistency. In relationships, inconsistency can breed insecurity and doubt. When a woman's mood and reactions are unpredictable, it creates an environment of emotional volatility, making it difficult for her partner to feel safe and secure. On the other hand, a woman who remains steady, even in the face of challenges, sends a powerful message that the relationship is a reliable refuge. This kind of predictability doesn't mean she suppresses her emotions or pretends everything is fine. It means she addresses her feelings thoughtfully without letting them dictate her behavior impulsively. Emotional maturity also involves taking responsibility for one's actions and emotions instead of resorting to blame shifting or passive-aggressive tactics. For instance, if an argument arises, a mature woman will focus on resolving the issue rather than winning the fight. She might say, "I felt hurt when this happened, and I'd like to talk about it so we can understand each other using guilt or sarcasm to make her partner feel at fault." This approach fosters an atmosphere of mutual respect where problems are opportunities for growth rather than battlegrounds. For men who often struggle with confrontations that feel accusatory or hostile, this type of calm and constructive communication is immensely reassuring. Another facet of emotional maturity is self-awareness, the ability to recognize and reflect on one's own emotional triggers and patterns. A woman who understands why she feels certain emotions can express them clearly and honestly without letting them spiral out of control. For example, instead of shutting down or lashing out during a disagreement, she might admit, "I realize I am feeling defensive right now because this reminds me of past experiences. I just need a moment to process." This level of transparency not only prevents misunderstandings but also invites her partner to lower his guard, fostering an open and honest dialogue. Furthermore, emotional stability provides a sense of security that allows men to open up about their own vulnerabilities without fear of being overwhelmed by a partner's reactions. When a woman handles conflicts with composure and empathy, it assures her partner that their bond is strong enough to withstand difficult conversations. This emotional safety net becomes a powerful reason why men find it so hard to let go. They know that walking away means losing someone who not only understands them but also knows how to navigate the storms of life without letting the ship sink. In essence, emotional stability and maturity transform a relationship into a safe harbor, one where trust, understanding, and mutual growth thrive. For men who often grapple with emotional isolation, finding a partner with these qualities feels like discovering solid ground in a world full of uncertainty. It's not just love that makes them stay. It's the assurance that they found someone capable of weathering life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. Effective communication is the cornerstone of any successful relationship. For men, a partner who can express her thoughts and feelings clearly and honestly without resorting to mind games, passive aggression, or confusing hints feels like a breath of fresh air. The ability to communicate effectively not only prevents misunderstandings but also fosters a deeper emotional connection that makes it incredibly hard to let go. At the heart of effective communication is clarity. When a woman is transparent about her emotions and needs, it removes the guesswork that often leads to frustration and conflict. For instance, instead of saying, "It's fine," when something is clearly wrong, she might express herself openly, "I felt hurt when this happened, and I want to talk about it." This straightforwardness eliminates ambiguity and creates an environment where issues can be resolved constructively. For men who are often wired to approach problems directly and pragmatically, this kind of clear communication is not only refreshing but also deeply comforting. It allows them to address concerns head-on without the fear of stepping into an emotional minefield. Moreover, effective communication is not just about speaking honestly but also about listening actively. A woman who truly listens without interrupting, dismissing, or immediately countering makes her partner feel valued and understood. Active listening involves giving full attention, maintaining eye contact, and responding thoughtfully, which shows a genuine interest in understanding her partner's perspective. For example, if a man opens up about a stressful day at work, a woman with strong communication skills might respond, "That sounds really tough. Do you want to talk more about it or maybe find a way to unwind together?" This kind of empathetic response signals that his feelings matter, creating a safe space for vulnerability. Another crucial element of effective communication is the ability to navigate difficult conversations without escalating them. Conflicts are inevitable in any relationship, but how they are handled makes all the difference. A woman who can address issues calmly, without raising her voice or resorting to insults, transforms potential arguments into opportunities for growth. For example, if a disagreement arises, she might say, "I feel upset about what happened earlier, but I want us to work through it together," rather than attacking her partner's character. This approach not only de-escalates tension but also reinforces a sense of partnership and teamwork. Effective communication also involves expressing appreciation and affection regularly. It's easy to assume that love is understood, but verbal affirmation can make a significant difference. Simple phrases like "I appreciate how hard you work" or "I love how you always find a way to make me smile" may seem small, but they reinforce the emotional bond between partners. For men who may not always be as vocal about their feelings, hearing these affirmations creates a sense of security and appreciation that's hard to find elsewhere. It's a reminder that they are not just loved but also seen and valued for who they are. Additionally, part of communicating effectively is knowing when to pause and allow space during heated moments. Sometimes taking a step back to cool down before continuing a conversation prevents words spoken in anger from causing lasting harm. A woman who can say, "I need a moment to gather my thoughts, but I promise we'll talk this through," demonstrates emotional intelligence and self-control. This ability to manage timing and tone during conversations not only prevents unnecessary pain but also shows a commitment to resolving issues respectfully. In essence, effective communication transforms a relationship into a sanctuary of honesty and understanding. For men, having a partner who communicates openly, listens actively, and handles conflicts maturely creates a bond that feels irreplaceable. It's not just about avoiding misunderstandings. It's about building a foundation of trust and respect that makes the relationship feel like home. This is why men find it so hard to let go of women who possess this quality, because they know just how rare and valuable it truly is. Empathy and support are the lifeblood of a strong, lasting relationship. For men who often face societal expectations to suppress their emotions and endure hardships silently, a partner who embodies empathy and offers unwavering support becomes irreplaceable. Empathy is more than just understanding another's feelings. It's the ability to genuinely share and validate those emotions, making the other person feel seen, heard, and valued. When combined with active support, it creates a powerful bond that makes it nearly impossible for a man to let go. At the core of empathy is the ability to put oneself in another's shoes without judgment. For men, who are often conditioned to mask their vulnerabilities, a partner who can truly understand what they're going through without dismissing or minimizing their emotions feels like a breath of fresh air. For instance, if a man confides in his partner about the stress he's experiencing at work or his fear of failure, an empathetic response would go beyond surface-level reassurances like "you'll be fine." Instead, she might say, "That sounds really overwhelming. I can imagine how exhausting it must be to deal with that every day." This kind of response validates his feelings, making him feel understood rather than alone in his struggles. Empathy also involves recognizing unspoken emotions, picking up on subtle cues like tone, body language, or a change in behavior. Often men might not verbalize their worries directly but may become withdrawn, irritable, or unusually quiet. A partner who can notice these changes and respond with care, such as saying, "You seem a bit off today. Want to talk about what's on your mind?" creates a safe space for him to open up. This attentiveness shows that she truly sees him, not just the version he presents, but the complex emotions beneath the surface. For men who are used to putting on a brave face, this kind of intuitive empathy can feel profoundly comforting and rare. Beyond understanding, active support transforms empathy into action. It's not enough to merely acknowledge someone's pain. Support means standing by them and offering practical help when needed. This might look like encouraging him to pursue his passions, assisting with challenges he faces, or simply being a consistent source of comfort during tough times. For instance, if a man is going through a career setback, a supportive partner might help him strategize next steps, revise his remit, or even just remind him of his strengths and past achievements. This kind of partnership reinforces the idea that he doesn't have to face life's battles alone, which builds a deep sense of loyalty and appreciation. Consistency in support is another crucial element. Temporary encouragement is easy to offer, but a woman who stands by her partner not just in moments of success, but also through failures, insecurities, and uncertainties demonstrates a depth of commitment that is incredibly hard to find. For men, this reliability is a powerful anchor, knowing that regardless of the situation, his partner will be there without resentment or conditional love creates a sense of security that is irreplaceable. It allows him to take risks, pursue his dreams, and navigate challenges with the assurance that he has a steadfast ally by his side. Non-judgmental support is also vital. Men often hesitate to share their struggles out of fear of being judged or seen as weak. A partner who can listen without criticism or unsolicited advice transforms his dynamic. For example, if a man admits to feeling insecure about his career progress, a judgmental response might be, "You just need to work harder." In contrast, a supportive partner might say, "It's okay to feel that way. I'm proud of everything you've accomplished, and I believe in you." Such responses not only alleviate his immediate stress, but also build long-term confidence and trust. Additionally, empathy and support enhance a man's willingness to reciprocate. When a woman consistently shows up for him emotionally and practically, it naturally encourages him to open up and be more emotionally available in return. This reciprocal dynamic strengthens the relationship, creating a virtuous cycle of understanding and support that makes both partners feel valued and secure. In essence, empathy and support create a sanctuary within the relationship, a place where a man can lay down his armor, express his fears and dreams freely, and find comfort in the knowledge that he is loved unconditionally. It's not just the words of encouragement or the gestures of kindness that make this quality so powerful, it's the message behind them: you are not alone. I am with you, no matter what. For men, losing this kind of partnership means losing a rare space of acceptance and safety, making it incredibly hard to let go. This is why men hold on so tightly to women who possess this quality, because in a world that often tells them to toughen up and deal with things alone, having someone who genuinely cares and supports them feels like finding a safe harbor in the middle of a storm. Authenticity and confidence are two intertwined qualities that make a woman unforgettable in a man's eyes. Authenticity is about being true to oneself, expressing genuine thoughts, feelings, and beliefs without pretense or a facade. Confidence, on the other hand, is the assurance that comes from embracing one's own worth and abilities without seeking constant validation. When these traits come together, they create a magnetic presence that is both captivating and comforting. For men, a partner who embodies authenticity and confidence offers a refreshing sense of security and trust, making it nearly impossible to let go. At the core of authenticity is the courage to be vulnerable and real, even when it's difficult. In a world where so many people present curated versions of themselves, whether on social media or in daily interactions, a woman who is unapologetically herself stands out. Authenticity means being honest about one's feelings, desires, and imperfections without fearing judgment or rejection. For example, a woman who can admit, "I struggle with this sometimes, but I'm working on it," not only shows self-awareness but also creates an environment where her partner feels free to be honest about his own flaws. This kind of openness fosters a profound sense of trust, because there's no guessing game, no facade to unravel, just two people showing up as they truly are. Authenticity also involves consistency between words and actions. A woman who says what she means and follows through on her commitments builds a solid foundation of reliability in a relationship. For men who often value straightforwardness and clarity, this kind of consistency is deeply reassuring. It eliminates the anxiety of trying to decipher mixed signals or hidden meanings. For instance, if she expresses that she values honesty and then demonstrates that by being truthful, even when it's uncomfortable, it sends a powerful message that she is someone who can be trusted implicitly. This alignment of words and actions not only strengthens trust but also cultivates a sense of emotional safety that makes it incredibly hard for a man to walk away. Confidence, meanwhile, amplifies the impact of authenticity. A confident woman doesn't feel the need to downplay her strengths, shrink to make others comfortable, or seek validation for every decision she makes. Instead, she embraces her capabilities, opinions, and passions with pride. This self-assuredness is highly attractive because it signals a deep sense of self-worth. For men, being with a confident partner is both inspiring and liberating. It encourages them to pursue their own ambitions without fear of being overshadowed or held back. Confidence is contagious. When a woman is secure in herself, it naturally elevates her partner's self-esteem and makes him feel empowered. Confidence also manifests in the way a woman sets and maintains boundaries. Many relationships falter when one partner constantly compromises their own needs to please the other, leading to resentment and burnout. A confident woman, however, understands that boundaries are not about pushing people away, but about maintaining self-respect and mutual respect. For instance, you might say, "I need some time to recharge after a long day, but I'd love to spend time with you afterward." Clearly communicating her needs without guilt or aggression. This clarity not only prevents misunderstandings but also demonstrates emotional maturity. For men, this assertiveness is both admirable and comforting because it takes the guesswork out of the relationship. Another powerful aspect of authenticity and confidence is the ability to embrace imperfections, both one's own and those of one's partner. A woman who can laugh at her mistakes, admit when she's wrong, and approach flaws with grace shows that she doesn't expect perfection from herself or anyone else. This attitude creates a space where her partner feels free to be imperfect as well, reducing the pressure to constantly prove himself. For men who often struggle with the societal expectation to always be strong, capable, this acceptance feels like a weight lifted, a rare chance to breathe and be themselves without fear of judgment. Furthermore, authenticity and confidence foster deep emotional intimacy. A woman who speaks her mind openly, whether about her dreams, fears, or values, invites her partner to do the same. This willingness to be seen fully and to see her partner fully builds a connection based on reality, not on illusions or unspoken expectations. For example, If she expresses her long-term goals and asks about his with genuine curiosity, it signals that she's not just interested in a surface-level relationship, but in building a life together. For men, this kind of emotional transparency is profoundly compelling because it transforms the relationship from a series of polite exchanges into a partnership rooted in truth and shared aspirations. The combination of authenticity and confidence also impacts how a woman handles external pressures and opinions. A confident woman doesn't let societal expectations, peer pressure, or the need for approval dictate her choices. Whether it's career ambitions, lifestyle preferences, or personal beliefs, she stands firm in what she values, which sets a powerful example for her partner. For men, this independence is incredibly attractive because it shows that she's with them by choice, not out of dependence or a fear of being alone. This freedom to choose each other rather than need each other creates a relationship dynamic based on genuine affection and mutual respect. In essence, authenticity and confidence make a woman irreplaceable because they eliminate the exhausting pretense and mind games that often plague relationships. They create an environment where both partners can express themselves fully, pursue their individual passions, and support each other's growth without feeling threatened or insecure. For men, letting go of a woman who embodies these qualities isn't just difficult, it feels like losing a once-in-a-lifetime connection with someone who sees them for who they truly are and loves them all the more for it. This is why men hold on so tightly to women who possess authenticity and confidence, because in a world full of masks and superficiality, finding someone real and unapologetically themselves feels like discovering something profoundly rare and valuable. Emotional intelligence and maturity are the cornerstones of a lasting and fulfilling relationship. Emotional intelligence involves the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions while also being attuned to the emotions of others. Maturity, on the other hand, is about responding to situations thoughtfully rather than impulsively choosing long-term growth over short-term gratification. When a woman possesses both of these qualities, she creates an environment of stability, trust, and deep emotional connection that men find nearly impossible to let go of. At the heart of emotional intelligence is the capacity for self-awareness. A woman who understands her own emotions can communicate them clearly without resorting to passive-aggressive behavior, silent treatment, or emotional outbursts. For example, instead of saying nothing's wrong, when she's clearly upset, she might express, "I felt hurt when this happened, and I'd like to talk about it." This kind of honest communication removes the need for mind games and guessing, allowing her partner to respond constructively rather than defensively. For men who often struggle with deciphering indirect emotional cues, this clarity is both refreshing and reassuring. It creates a sense of security where they don't have to constantly walk on eggshells, wondering what might be wrong. Empathy and active listening are also key components of emotional intelligence. A woman who genuinely listens without interrupting, dismissing, or turning the conversation back to herself demonstrates a deep respect for her partner's feelings. Active listening means not only hearing the words but also understanding the emotions behind them. For instance, if a man shares his frustrations about work, an emotionally intelligent response might be, "That sounds really stressful. I can see why you're feeling this way," rather than immediately trying to solve the problem or downplay his feelings. This validation shows that she respects his emotional experience, making him feel understood and supported. For men who are often conditioned to suppress their feelings, having a partner who listens without judgment creates a rare and valuable space for vulnerability. Conflict resolution is another area where emotional intelligence shines. Disagreements are inevitable in any relationship, but how they are handled makes all the difference. An emotionally intelligent woman approaches conflicts with a focus on resolution rather than winning. She avoids blame and accusatory language, instead using I statements that express how she feels without attacking her partner's character. For example, saying, "I felt hurt when this happened and would like to understand what you meant," is far more effective than "you never listened to me." This approach not only prevents escalation but also invites open dialogue, making it easier to resolve issues constructively. For men who often shy away from confrontations due to the fear of saying the wrong thing or causing more harm, this calm and solution-focused attitude makes the idea of addressing problems less daunting. Emotional regulation is another crucial aspect of both emotional intelligence and maturity. It's natural to feel anger, frustration, or disappointment at times, but how these emotions are managed determines the health of a relationship. A mature woman recognizes her triggers and takes a moment to process her emotions before responding, rather than reacting impulsively. For instance, if an argument becomes heated, she might say, "I need a moment to collect my thoughts, but I want to resolve this together," instead of escalating the situation with hurtful remarks. This ability to pause and respond thoughtfully prevents conflicts from spiraling and demonstrates a level of self-control that fosters respect and admiration. For men who often feel overwhelmed by intense emotional exchanges, this measured approach is incredibly appealing as it creates a sense of stability and safety. Accountability and the willingness to apologize also reflect maturity. No one is perfect, and mistakes are inevitable. However, a woman who can acknowledge when she's in the wrong, apologize sincerely, and take steps to make things right shows a level of humility and responsibility that is rare. An emotionally mature apology doesn't involve excuses or shifting blame. It's straightforward and focuses on making amends. For example, saying, "I was wrong for reacting that way, and I'm sorry for how it made you feel," takes ownership of the mistake and expresses a genuine desire to repair the relationship. For men who often struggle with the fear of being perpetually blamed or misunderstood, this kind of accountability is both disarming and deeply reassuring. It shows that the relationship is a partnership where both sides are willing to learn and grow. Another powerful aspect of emotional intelligence and maturity is the ability to focus on long-term growth rather than short-term comfort. A mature woman doesn't shy away from difficult conversations about the future, personal growth, or areas that need improvement. She understands that true intimacy involves continuous growth and is willing to work through challenges rather than avoiding them for the sake of temporary peace. For example, discussing financial planning, career goals, or even past traumas with an eye toward growth demonstrates a level of commitment that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. For men, this willingness to invest in the future is incredibly compelling. It transforms the relationship from something temporary into a true partnership built to last. Emotional independence is equally vital. A mature woman doesn't rely solely on her partner for happiness or self-worth. While she values the relationship deeply, she also has a strong sense of identity and purpose outside of it. This independence prevents the relationship from becoming codependent and allows both partners to grow individually while growing together. For men, this is particularly attractive because it alleviates the pressure to constantly validate or fix their partner's emotions. Instead, it creates a dynamic where both individuals support each other's growth without losing themselves in the process. In essence, emotional intelligence and maturity transform relationships into sanctuaries of trust, respect, and authentic connection. They eliminate the toxicity of mind games, blame, and emotional volatility, replacing them with honest communication, mutual support, and a shared vision for the future. For men, letting go of a woman who embodies these qualities isn't just difficult, it feels like losing a partner who makes life's challenges easier to face and its joys even more meaningful. This is why men hold on so tightly to women who possess emotional intelligence and maturity. Because in a world that often celebrates drama and superficiality, finding someone who brings peace, growth, and understanding to a relationship is like discovering a rare gem that only becomes more valuable with time. In conclusion, the qualities that make a woman truly unforgettable: unwavering loyalty, genuine appreciation, empathy and support, authenticity and confidence, emotional intelligence, and maturity go far beyond surface-level attraction. These traits create a foundation of trust, respect, and deep emotional connection that men find incredibly rare and irreplaceable. When a woman embodies these qualities, she becomes a partner in the truest sense of the word, someone who not only shares in the joys of life, but also stands firm through its challenges. It's not just about being loved, it's about being understood, supported, and inspired to grow. For men, letting go of a woman like this means losing a sense of home, a safe harbor in the storm, and a companion who makes life richer and more meaningful. This is why men hold on so tightly, because finding someone who truly sees them, accepts them, and brings out the best in them is an extraordinary gift, one that's worth cherishing and never letting go.